All right, Niners faithful, let's talk about what just went down because this game was everything you could possibly want from a team that refuses to quit. No Nick Bosa, no Fred Warner, injuries up and down the roster. And somehow the San Francisco 49ers walk out with one of the most complete and gritty wins of the entire season. That right there is what character looks like. This team just showed every other squad in the league that even without their biggest stars, they're still built to fight, still built to win, and still built to dominate in the trenches. You could feel it from the opening snap. The energy was different, like the entire roster knew what was at stake. And you have to start with this defense because, my goodness, they were relentless. Bryce Huff stepped into that number one pass rusher role and absolutely owned the night. 2 sacks, constant pressure, and that strip play on Michael Penix that completely changed the game. You can talk all you want about numbers and stats, but when you actually watched him fly off the edge, rip through the tackle, and collapse the pocket, you could see why this coaching staff trusted him to carry the load. He wasn't just filling in. He was making plays like a superstar. Then you have Tatum Bethune making his first career start at linebacker in place of Fred Warner. And this kid played like he'd been in the league for years. He was reading plays before they even developed, shooting gaps, flying to the ball, blitzing at the perfect times. You could tell he's the son of a coach because the instincts are just unreal. He might not have the blazing speed or elite athleticism that turns heads at the combine, but on the field, he's a football player through and through. Every snap, he was right where he needed to be, diagnosing runs, anticipating throws, and delivering hits that echoed through Levi Stadium. That's what you call football IQ. And let's not forget Robert Saleh's fingerprints all over that defensive plan. Every blitz, every stunt, every coverage look, it was all so calculated. The Niners didn't just play defense tonight. They controlled the rhythm of the game. Atlanta came in flying high, coming off a huge win against the Bills where their offense looked unstoppable. But against San Francisco, 10 points. That's it. They completely shut down Bijan Robinson, holding him to just over 40 yards on the ground. They bottled up Drake London, neutralized Kyle Pitts, and made Michael Penix look uncomfortable for 4 straight quarters. That's coaching, preparation, and execution at the highest level. And how about George Kittle's impact? He didn't catch a single pass, but his presence was felt on nearly every running play. The blocking, the leadership, the intensity. Kittle was moving bodies, creating lanes, and setting the tone for the offensive line. That's the kind of stuff that doesn't always show up in a box score, but if you watch closely, you saw how much easier it was for Christian McCaffrey to find space because of those blocks. Speaking of McCaffrey, let's talk about the man of the night. For weeks, people have been whispering, is CMC slowing down? Is he past his prime? And I kept saying no. It's not McCaffrey. It's the offensive line. You could see it in the numbers. His yards before contact were way down compared to his Offensive Player of the Year season. That's not on him. That's on the blocking. But tonight, the line came to play. The interior finally started winning battles. They gave him room to breathe, and he responded with his best performance of the year. 24 carries, 129 yards, 2 touchdowns, and over 5 yards per carry. That's vintage McCaffrey. Explosive, decisive, balanced, and patient all at once. And it wasn't just the numbers, it was the timing. Every big moment in the game, every drive that mattered, there was McCaffrey making it happen. Fourth quarter, game on the line, Falcons within 3, and it's Christian breaking tackles, moving chains, and sealing the deal. That 3rd and long conversion where he slipped out, found a soft spot, and turned a potential field goal drive into a touchdown, that was the dagger. That was superstar football. Let's give a little love to M. Jones, too. This guy continues to impress as a backup, stepping into an impossible situation. 4 wins in 5 starts, running Kyle Shanahan's system with poise, precision, and control. He's not trying to be flashy. He's just executing the plan. You can tell the team trusts him. And that says everything about the culture Shanahan has built. It doesn't matter who's under center, who's out with injuries. This team stays prepared, stays locked in, and plays their brand of football. And man, Kyle Shanahan deserves all the credit in the world for the way he's holding this team together. To have your top defensive leaders out, your offensive line struggling, your backup quarterback running the show, and still have this group playing elite football, that's coaching brilliance. You can see how mentally tough they are. You can see how much they believe in what they're doing. That's why this team is always dangerous, no matter who's in the lineup. Shanahan doesn't make excuses. He just adjusts, motivates, and finds ways to win. But this was also a trench game. The Niners finally got the ground attack rolling. They came in ranked near the bottom of the league in rushing efficiency, dead last in yards per carry, near the bottom in rushing yards per game. And everyone was asking what's wrong with this offense. Tonight, we got the answer. It wasn't McCaffrey. It wasn't the scheme. It was execution. The offensive line got nasty again. The run blocking was sharp, physical, and consistent. You could feel that old-school Niners identity coming back. Pound the rock, wear you down, control the tempo. And that's what they did. They dictated the pace. They kept the Falcons' explosive offense sitting cold on the sideline, while they chewed up clock with long, physical drives. When your offense can run like that, your defense stays fresh, your quarterback stays calm, and your entire team starts to feed off that rhythm. That's exactly what we saw. Defensively, it wasn't just Huff and Bethune making plays. Guys like Darrell Luter Jr. stepped up big time in coverage, filling in for Renardo Green and locking down the outside. Chase Lucas had arguably the play of the game when he broke up that 4th-and-1 pass to Drake London late in the fourth quarter. That stop completely flipped the momentum. It gave San Francisco the ball back, and from there, they marched methodically down the field for that clutch touchdown drive that sealed the win. That's what complementary football looks like. Defense makes a stand. Offense closes the deal. And the thing I love about this team right now is that everyone's contributing. You've got veterans holding things together, rookies stepping up when their names are called, and a coaching staff that knows exactly how to put players in positions to succeed. Even when Matt Hennessy had to step in at center after Jake Brendle's injury, the offense didn't miss a beat. That's the kind of depth and preparation that separates good teams from championship-caliber teams. You also can't overlook how disciplined this team was. No mental lapses, no careless mistakes, no giving away free possessions. The focus was sharp from start to finish. And that's what it takes to win these types of games. When your emotional leaders like Bosa and Warner are sidelined, you got to rely on structure, on discipline, on trust, and this team did exactly that. So when you zoom out and look at the big picture, this win says a lot more than just another number in the standings. It's proof that the 49ers can survive adversity, that they can adapt, and that they can still punch anyone in the mouth even when they're not at full strength. They just beat a hot Atlanta team that came off their biggest win in years, and they did it by outworking, outcoaching, and out-executing them in every phase of the game. And that's why this fan base should feel fired up. This isn't just a team, it's a brotherhood built on belief. You can see it in the sideline interactions, the way they celebrate together, the way they rally after every hit. That's a group that trusts one another. And when you have that kind of chemistry, it doesn't matter who's hurt. You're always going to have a chance. Now, let's dive into the bigger picture here, because this wasn't just a regular win. This was a statement about the identity of this team and where they stand in the NFC West. You have to look at the context. The 49ers are 5-2, still sitting atop the division, and they did it against a Falcons team coming off a huge victory against the Bills. Atlanta had momentum, confidence, and all the tools to make life difficult. But San Francisco completely took control. That's the mark of a team that doesn't just rely on talent. It relies on preparation, discipline, and mental toughness. They showed that even with injuries to stars like Bosa and Warner, they can maintain focus, execute a game plan, and win a physical, hard-fought contest. Let's talk about the defense, because it really set the tone for the entire evening. The front seven was extraordinary. Bryce Huff proved he can be more than a situational player. He can carry the load when it matters. His speed off the edge, his relentless pursuit of the quarterback, and his ability to collapse the pocket changed the dynamics of the game. But it wasn't just him. The defensive line worked as a unit, filling gaps, controlling lanes, and keeping Atlanta from establishing any rhythm. The linebackers, especially Tatum Bethune, delivered a performance that exceeded every expectation. He played the game like he had years of experience, making tackles all over the field, timing his blitzes perfectly, and reading the quarterback like a textbook. It's rare to see a rookie have such a commanding presence. especially stepping in for a player of Fred Warner's caliber. And the secondary didn't get overlooked either. Darrell Luter Jr. was precise in coverage, closing down passing lanes and forcing the Falcons to hold onto the ball longer than they wanted. Chase Lucas had one of those game-changing moments that fans will remember for years. 4th and 1, late in the fourth quarter, pressure mounting, and he breaks on the ball perfectly to break up the pass. That play didn't just stop a drive. It swung momentum entirely in San Francisco's favor and set up the game-clinching drive. That's the kind of play that makes you sit back and realize this team is building something special, something that extends far beyond any one game or any one star. Offensively, this game showed the value of balance and complementary football. The running game, which has been struggling all season, finally came alive. Christian McCaffrey had his best performance of the year, but the credit goes to the offensive line and to the scheming. George Kittle's blocking was a critical factor, and the timing of the runs, the angles, and the play designs allowed McCaffrey to dominate. 24 carries for over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns is the kind of performance that not only moves the chains, but completely dictates the flow of the game. When your running back can carry that kind of load effectively, your defense can rest, your quarterback can play with confidence, and the entire team can sustain energy and focus throughout the game. Jones continues to impress, too. As a backup quarterback, he has stepped in under pressure and has not just managed the game, but controlled it. 4 wins in 5 starts, delivering on the field, reading defenses, and executing Kyle Shanahan's complex system. It's remarkable. And that's a testament to the preparation of this coaching staff. Shanahan has instilled a mindset in this roster that regardless of injuries, personnel changes, or circumstances, the team knows how to execute. He doesn't just coach X's and O's. He prepares the entire roster mentally, physically, and emotionally to handle adversity. That's a hallmark of elite leadership, and one of the main reasons the 49ers continue to stay at the top of their division, even through challenges. And speaking of leadership, you can see it in moments like when Fred Warner is on the sideline supporting his teammates, when George Kittle is paving lanes for McCaffrey, and when rookies like Bethune and Lucas rise to the occasion. This is a culture-driven team. Every player, from starter to backup, understands their role and buys in completely. That's what makes them so dangerous. Opponents might look at the injury report and think San Francisco is vulnerable. But this team is structured, disciplined, and well-coached enough to turn those perceived weaknesses into strengths. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to 49ers Zone and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Whispers are turning into roars in the NFL world as one of the league's most fearsome defensive linemen reportedly makes a shocking move. Aaron Donald, the 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, has allegedly inked a deal with the San Francisco 49ers, and the implications could shake the NFC West to its core. Sources close to the situation suggest Donald, known for his unmatched power, speed, and relentless pursuit of quarterbacks, is eyeing nothing less than total domination in one of the league's most competitive divisions. The mere thought of Donald patrolling the 49ers' defensive front has sent shockwaves through fans and analysts alike. Rumors indicate he's not just joining a team. He's bringing a personal vendetta against every quarterback in the NFC West. "I'm coming for all the QBs in this division," he allegedly told insiders, a statement that has ignited excitement and anxiety across the conference. Speculation is rife that Donald sees this as a prime opportunity to cement his legacy, turning the 49ers' already formidable defense into an almost unstoppable force. If the deal holds, the 49ers' pass rush will suddenly be among the most feared units in NFL history. Imagine the terror for rival quarterbacks facing Donald alongside Nick Bosa and the rest of San Francisco's defensive arsenal. League insiders are already predicting a ripple effect. Offensive schemes will need to be reinvented, game plans rewritten, and rival front offices scrambling to find ways to contain a man often described as a one-man wrecking crew. The locker room buzz is palpable. Teammates are reportedly thrilled. envisioning a season where sacks and forced turnovers could reach unprecedented levels. Fans are sharing memes, imagining the chaos Donald could unleash on divisional foes like the Rams, Seahawks, and Cardinals. Social media is ablaze with speculation. What number will he wear? How will he fit into the scheme? And can anyone actually survive a season with him barreling through the offensive line week after week? For now, nothing is confirmed officially, and the 49ers front office remains tight-lipped. But if even half of these rumors prove true, the NFC West may be entering a new era, one defined by fear, domination, and the unmistakable growl of Aaron Donald hunting quarterbacks with the precision and intensity only he can deliver. Could this be the dawn of a dynasty, or just a blip in the rumor mill? One thing is certain, the NFC West will never be the same. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the San Francisco 49ers, make sure to subscribe to 49ers Zone and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.